It's just so hard to resist the taste of your kisses when they're begging for more.
Okay, Unheard Gems. Today we're enjoyed by an incredible artist named LissA. Thank you so much and welcome to our show. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
So, first off, when did you know you wanted to pursue music and really started to write your own music and work on that?
I started to play guitar as a child, and I kind of played some keys and I sang over it, and I thought it was English back then. That was like in first grade, so it wasn't really English, but I felt really cool singing another language. Anyway, then I started playing guitar, and I just kept on writing my own songs in German and English, and then I kind of slipped into the whole music business. Didn't really plan on doing that. Just happened, I guess.
So, I love your music, and I think it's really different from what I've heard on mainstream radio, but I think it should be on radio because it's so catchy and the vibe is just so perfect. So, how would you describe your personal style? How would you describe what you would label your music?
Well, thank you first of all. I don't know. It's hard. I guess you could call it electropop. I guess I'd go with that. But electro is, people tend to think, if they hear electro, they think it's techno. You know, it's not really what I do, because sometimes I just really, really mellow or sad and slow songs as well. It doesn't really fit with electro. But pop isn't it either, because I don't know, I don't consider my songs that catchy actually. I think they could be more catchy. But yeah, I'll go with electropop.
So then, what really inspires you to write music, and what's that writing process like for you?
I write about pretty much everything that's on my mind, and I use music for kind of as a diary to express my thoughts and feelings and everything, kind of build a story around it. So what I do is normally just grab my guitar, start jamming a little bit, find some keys, some chords I like, and then I just start writing, hearing some melodies, using some words, and then just keep on writing the song. I don't know, I write a lot about what happened to me and my relationships, to whatever, not only love, mainly love, I guess, but sometimes friends and family.
Yeah. So then, do you have a song that's been like the hardest for you to write or to then put out, or have you written songs that you've decided not to release because they were so personal?
Actually, there's a couple of songs out there that are extremely personal, but I think they're written and I changed some parts of it. For example, I Wonder, I don't know if you know that song, but it's with the hymn. And we had to change some of the parts because they were very personal, kind of over dramatic, so we had to change it a little bit around to make it more, I don't know, what's the word for for radio, you know? Make it suitable for the radio and for a wider range of people. But yeah, I think there's actually a lot of honesty out there in my music, but people just they won't understand because it's kind of hidden. And people, if they don't know me at all, that they'll never know anyways. If they do know me, they probably don't understand what I'm saying because I mumble.
So then also when you write your music, do you normally write first in English or do you write in other languages as well? Because I know you were saying you English isn't your first language. So do you feel like you mess around with languages in your songs at all, or?
No, I write in English. I think it's the best way to just, when I was living abroad and I started to think in English, I think that was when my English was the best. Right now, it's not like that anymore because I don't speak English that often. But when it comes to the songwriting process, I think it's best to just keep the whole thing in English and kind of start think in English again. So I leave the German out completely.
Would you ever want to go and write a song in German or have songs that included German in them?
I don't know. I think it's really, really hard to write in German. I wrote some songs and it just sounds horribly like folk, you know? I think if you say something in English and then you say that same thing in German, it's just, I don't know, that barrier that you build up, especially if your songs are kind of personal, the barrier you build up by using another language and using other words, I guess that kind of gets lost in the process of writing in another language, like my mother tongue. Does that make sense? I don't know if it makes sense, but still, you know, it's kind of a wall that I build up, to write in English, and writing in German be hard, and I wouldn't be able to hide myself behind the language, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you collaborate with a lot of different producers and other artists on your music. So what is that process like? Because it seems like each project turns out amazing, but it always switches your sound like a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So what I do, I normally write my songs and I record a demo, get some professional music, like guitar players or anything, so that it sounds more professionally. But I used to just do it myself. Sound like though still. And can I say that? Can I say?
You're fine.
Do I get blanked out? Anyway, so then I send those demos to different producers, and I think maybe there's one worse for that guy or anything. Now I do in the very beginning I was just grateful if they even replied on my email or anything. So that's one way, and the other way is pretty much the other way around. They have an instrumental and they want my voice on it, and then just send it to me and I write a song on the instrumental and send it back to them. That's pretty much it. But yeah, what you mean is really what I like about my music as well, because you have my voice and my songwriting as a guideline, and then you have all the other production surrounded by different people. That makes it really what's that called? What's the word? Like wide, you know. Mm-hmm. You have a range of different styles and everything, but still under the same. Oh Jesus! My same hood. I don't know.
Yeah. So, what do you like most about working with these other producers and artists? Like, do you appreciate like getting new information and influence on your music, or is it just sort of like having that constant feedback loop?
Yeah, it's definitely like I think I have improved so much since I started working with other people, and the way I record, for example, just the way I record, just the way I pronounce words. For example, at least the most hilarious thing actually when I did my first or second song with Mats, you know, the first ones I did with him, I wanted to sing "you" like a long "you," like, "you," and it sounded like shit all the time, and we didn't really know what to do, so we just started to try things out and actually recorded "you," so with the something like that, and that worked. And then other producers, they have tips and everything, tips and tricks. So, and also my lyrics and everything, other producers, and I think they can really judge that. So they said this is good, this is the S word and everything. So I can improve by constant feedback. I guess that's my favorite part.
Yeah. And so also you've lived all over the world, and so do you think there's been a particular place that's really impacted your music the most, and do you think your location has impacted your style and sound as you've written in different places or lived in different places?
Yeah, I think living in an English-speaking country or English-speaking countries, that definitely impacted the way I sing and I write music, just because of the language. I know big story behind that. But then, I mean, me as a person, I was just influenced by staying abroad and living in the US, or just being in New Zealand, Australia, Barcelona. I guess that just changes the way you look at things, and and also your songwriting and stories that you have to tell, stories you can tell to people.
So your EP, My Way Up, was released at the end of December. So what was that experience like for you working on that project? And do you think there's anything listeners should keep in mind when listening to those songs?
Yeah, the EP was a kind of a wrap-up of everything I've done so far in 2017. So it was not that I actually worked on the EP 10 hours a day or anything, and I was done in a month or whatever. It was really me working on a song and then working on another song 2 months later and everything, and then just packing the whole thing up together and making it kind of a story, because it was it's called My Way Up because it's firstly because of the music, because I think I get my way up a bit, get a little bit more popular, but also, and that's what I like to think about. People listen to the songs, they have that in mind, that I was like 3 or 4 years ago, I was like on the bottom of everything. Like devastation was the word devastation was invented for me back then, and I was just with music and with writing, with working with other people, traveling around Europe or whatever. I was just getting my way up, and now I'm back up again, happy ever after. So this is what really made me wanting to put the EP out, and having all those songs to kind of tell you the story, have that out there, and people be like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. It's really inspirational, especially for everyone who has that sort of inner struggle. They can listen to your music and really see there is a way up, and sort of like learn from your process and your way of expressing that, which is, I think, really inspirational and moving.
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope that there's someone listening to My Way Up and be like, okay, I can do this. That'd be even the best part ever. Actually, yeah. I got fan mail. I don't know what song that was, but there was a guy that told me about his breakup with his girlfriend and everything, and that he was so sad and devastated and everything, and then he just listened to one song. I can't really remember. I think it was Some of Me. And then that he was really touched by that, and that helps him getting up in the morning. That's cool. See, that's why you do that. That's why you do music.
Yeah. And so, finally, if you were to recommend to us one growing artist or unheard musician that you think we need to listen to, who would it be? Remember, they're from New York, and I think they're just doing the great work. Like every single thing I sent them to produce, they send back pure gold. Like it's ridiculous. Everything they touch is turns gold. It's amazing. So really, they are my favorite producer of all time. So definitely. Well, thank you for taking the time to do this interview with us. We really loved hearing your story about your music and about everything you do, and we really can't wait to hear what else is coming from you in the future.
Thank you.
It's just so hard to resist the taste of your kiss.